All right, sweet. So, topic of discussion for today, a real fun one. It's basically should next semester's classes be online only?
Uh, yes, because coronavirus.
So you believe that we shouldn't have any in-person classes? Do you think that people should be able to live in the dorms?
Yeah.
What about you, Joseph? What do you think?
Well, the thing is, there's still a decent amount of time before next semester, although I will admit
Oh,
it's
that's true.
coming up quick. And circumstances can change, especially like if the possibility that a vaccine happens to come out, because
Oh, dude, we should have a timer going, probably.
I got it. I
Yeah.
just started it.
Oh,
I
okay,
started it.
sweet.
We're good.
Cool.
We're good. We're good.
In the situation that like a vaccine does come out, then is there really too much of a need, like after people start getting vaccinated, to keep up the social distancing and all these extra precautions?
So you see,
I
if we
really,
had a vaccine before next semester, you'd say we should just do on in person?
yeah, definitely in person, but still have the option to online for those that have set up their um, kind of school life around being online.
Hmm.
I don't think that online portion should ever go away, but I do think like in person should definitely come back as soon as it can.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I personally, I like in person way more than online usually, but it's definitely been hard to adapt to only online, considering I've
Mhm.
never really done online before. But it hasn't been that bad.
I
What's your
expected it to be
opinion?
way
Oh,
worse,
sorry.
honestly.
What'd you
Oh,
say?
sorry. I just said I expected it to be way worse, honestly.
That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, it wasn't bad. Like
So what
I'm
were you
doing
saying,
fine
JR?
most of my classes.
Oh, oh no, I kind of agree with you, I guess, because almost everything almost died down, and yeah, like we were like taking enough precautions for that too. So I say in person as well.
That's fair. That's fair. I really want there to be in-person classes, but like if it's all online, I mean, like I don't understand. Like you can't really get mad
Dude,
about that. So it's just for our
I want
safety.
in classes so much. I want to be inside like a dorm, dude.
It's facts. I mean, I'm in one right now all by my lonesome self.
Yeah, my roommate is in ours alone. He's just kind of there.
What dorm is he in?
Agave.
Oh, okay, that's not near me.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Which one
think
do you
we should
stay at?
do you guys think that like next semester they should have more stuff on campus so they just keep it the same where there's like nothing in person basically?
Well, the thing is, things are happening in person, like especially labs. People have been invited to
Hmm.
go in person, and um, I've personally been on campus a few times, not too often, just because of the distance. Um, and like they have a whole setup, like they've got places to wash your hands, they've got um, required masks when you walk indoors, and all these things. And so I don't really see too much of an issue. Like if we're okay going in person to some extent, why would we take it away moving forward?
Yeah.
You know, actually masks are required everywhere, including outside. I got yelled at for not having a mask on when I was
Wait,
taking my
really?
trash out.
Really?
Yeah.
By who?
It was just some person walking by. It was like this group of girls. They
I
were like,
can't really say
you
they
should be
have.
wearing a mask." No, I looked it up too, though. It actually is. It was in an email. You're supposed to wear it legit
For
everywhere.
ASU? Really? Because at least before it used to be like, okay, as long as you wear a mask if you're like within 6 feet of people.
Yeah, I swear there's an email that literally said anywhere on campus you have to wear one now.
They
I
might
mean,
have
not
changed
everybody
that.
obeys that. It's not like heavily enforced, but almost everybody does wear a mask that I see walking around.
When I was there, I saw most people wearing masks. Actually, I don't know. When I got kind of far from my dorm, I saw less masks. Like when people were out by like the fields and stuff.
Hmm.
Like not like working out on the fields or something, just kind of hanging out. Like the further I saw you get from dorms, I saw less people wearing masks.
I walk around like all the time, but most of the time I see people wearing masks, or at least they have them on them. Like maybe they'll have them off, like just like hanging by from their ear or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah. I've had a couple friends get COVID. One of my best friend who goes to U of A, they got COVID, and they had to chill in their dorm for like 2 weeks, or like in their quarantine dorm, which I think is weird.
Yeah, I heard about that, dude. Apparently they have like 3 of them.
Yeah, fucking. I remember they only gave her enough food for like half a week, and so she had to like keep ordering food herself.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, I was like, that's fucking weird.
My friend was making fun of me. She was like, haha, we don't have any cases at U of A.
That's a fat
And
lie,
then
dude.
yeah, well, this was the week before. This was the week before. And then they got a spike like a week or two right after. And it was like, haha.
Of course
Not
they
like
did.
haha. It was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, and a ton of people just will get it and don't say anything. Like my friend, her roommate, legit is the one who gave it to her, but she never like went in and got tested, even though she definitely had it. And she just kept
Yikes.
doing shit and like going to parties. I'm like, bro, that's so messed up.
Yeah. I know a bunch of people that were still going out. I see it on their stories. I texted my friend and she was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm like, no, it's not like you that like we're worried about, dude.
It's the
Like, why
general
are you
public.
like this? Yeah, it's like you can give it to someone who can like go to get groceries, and then they can give it to like the grocery store clerk, and then they can give it to like, you know, their
It's like,
grandpa when they see him the next week.
yeah, and then their grandpa dies and his blood's on your hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I haven't been to a party since COVID except for, I won't lie, I did throw a birthday party when it was my birthday, like I think it was like July 31st, but that's it.
I mean,
just
did you
in
like
general
know
not a
all the
party
people there
person.
though?
Oh yeah, it wasn't like a big party, it was
Yeah,
a smaller
I,
party. I think there was like
I feel like
25 people.
if you like everyone's been staying safe and like you keep it like in a personal bubble, like on purpose, you're like probably good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one got sick from it except my friend did actually have, what was it? What's it? She had mono. That's what she had, and we didn't know till after. And we were all
Oh yeah.
scared that we got mono from her, but none of us did, thank God. That was fucking fun. God, it's so weird to think that it's been going on for like since like May, or not even May, like since like March. It's been like over half a year.
I still think it'll go on for another year, honestly. I
know,
think
but I hate
hope
to
it
think
doesn't.
about it like that.
I hope it doesn't either. But I think I think next summer is when it'll finally start to let up. And then I think though it won't be totally like we won't be all better until, you know.
I'm happy with that though. If it's gone by next summer, I'd be happy.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is with diseases, they never really go away.
Yeah, we just get
And
herd
so-
immunity.
I just want to be able
Yeah.
to do stuff and not feel
I mean,
bad.
I've heard herd immunity tossed around like almost like, oh, just that it a little too easily. Because like, yeah, it is a concept in diseases and all that, but it's not just like the say all end all. Because like, yeah, sure, we get herd immunity to the flu, but the flu just comes right back. And so really like, it should really be considered in terms of like how rapidly it spreads in general to like severity in terms of how it should be treated, because I don't have like a whole massive over like sight over like how all these different numbers. I've heard numbers way high and way low all over the place. There's been instances like even in Arizona where counties have exaggerated their numbers intentionally. I think for more press and in turn more money.
That makes sense. Honestly.
And so like with that like in considered, like we really don't know how contagious it really is because we don't have the big numbers. Yeah, we can look at individual people and we can see like, oh yeah, this person and that person got it, or like this person didn't have it at this time. But at the same time, we keep seeing these numbers increase and increase and increase. But at the same time, that means more and more people are now no longer susceptible to this strain.
That's fair. But that's another thing. It's like, yeah, that's just one of the strains. There's already like multiple strains that you could get, and so just because you got that one doesn't mean you can't get it again, which is just tough. How long have we been talking for?
We have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Well, like just continuing that discussion at the same time. Really, like it has to be considered like how much is enough. Like, is there anything we could like really do to say like, okay, we're done, we can go back to normal? Because really, like, we should be able to go back to normal. That was good living standards. Our living standards have decreased since this pandemic and supposed increased safety. There have been more suicides, cases of depression and all that. So like, where does this quarantine and stuff really become worth it? I'm not so certain it still is. It might still be, but we do need to go back to normal when, like, probably even before this virus is totally died down, we should go back to normal. Because there's so many other things to consider.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, that seems like a good stopping point for the discussion.
I mean, if you want, I could say one last thing. It'll take like 2 seconds.
No, just kidding.
Okay,
It's I
no
decide when it's done. I am the group leader. No, Shane, go ahead.
Okay. Because you can say, oh yes, going back to normal could result in like many, many lives dying to this virus. But at the same time, quarantining could cause the same, if not more deaths, at least at a certain point in time, not saying that time is now, in suicides and starving families.
Especially with all the people who lost their jobs because their
Mm-hmm.
places
Exactly.
closed down. But I mean, that's kind of counteracted by all the free money the government is handing out right now, to be fair. But
Is free money really free?
exactly, at some point you have to realize that you got to restart the economy because you can't just keep shelling out tons of like billions of dollars to people.
Because the government only has money because of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're giving us money, they're giving us our money. So why are they taking it in the first place?
Well, now we're just going more and more in debt, but I guess that doesn't really
Yeah. That's not unrelated to the conversation, though. And let's move on. Next leader, I believe that is me. I'm gonna go pull up the PDF.
Sweet.
Okay, get ready with the timer. Okay, let me take a look at this first. Okay, this one seems pretty interesting. The topic. It just says lowering the drinking age to 18. Start the timer now, I guess. So, how do you think we should like go about this topic? Like, we're just kind of discussing it, I believe.
Yeah,
You
it's
said
just a
drinking
discussion.
at 18.
Mm-hmm. So,
Well,
So,
I am all
I don't
for
know.
it.
Yeah, like
I
Ireland,
And my
almost every other
okay, my
place.
justification
they
is if they're gonna, I'd say either raise the voting age and the age to join the military to 21, or lower everything to 18. So I actually I
Yeah,
hate that it's split up. I hate that you
I
count
think
as a
I agree
legal
with
adult,
you.
but there's so many things. But the only like you're barely even an adult because there's still so many things you can't do at 18. So I'd say like just do
I
it
think
all at
it's
once. Just make it all at one age, either 18 or 21.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I can be forced to join the military, to die in a foreign country before I can have beer legally. I think that is insane.
I mean, you can't be forced anymore because selective service isn't a thing anymore. Got
Yeah, it is.
outlawed
Yeah.
after Vietnam.
Yeah, it is. You have to
I'll
sign
see.
up for selective service.
Oh
Yeah, you
no, but they
do.
can't for you. They can't force you. I remember I looked this up. Let
Yeah.
me see if I can find it.
It
it's
means
not
there is no
required.
draft. There's just no
In the
draft.
Oh yeah, no
meantime,
draft. That's what I mean. They
You
can't.
can, if there is a draft, if they call a draft, you can still be drafted.
I swear.
It's not going to happen, but if they do, you can.
yeah.
It's the concept
What
of
about
the
you,
match.
JR?
What was that?
What about you? What do you think?
I mean, well, I know like a bunch of people already drink. They're like not even 18, so might as well just like order 18. And plus, I heard like I think like the UK and Ireland already have they're 18.
Yeah, it's 18 all over
18-year-olds and-
Europe.
Yeah. So like, why is it so different at America?
Because they bumped it back, dude. Get those conservative votes.
I hate that. It's just like I just don't see a point. And like they also I mean, they did also raise the smoking age.
Oh,
to 21.
did anyone change the timer? Did anyone change the timer?
No.
Okay, I'll start it. I'll say we're probably already going for a minute, so we'll
least.
start it from there.
Yeah, well, probably two because we finished mine on 6:22.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So like, so let's talk about those other countries. So what do you think like the benefits or things of the sort of like would go around lowering that drinking age? Like what do you see as better in other countries because of that, perhaps?
I think if I can buy a gun before I can buy a beer, I think that's nuts.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's a very strange double standard to uphold.
And also, like in other countries, I feel like the fact that the drinking age is so high, kind of, it just encourages illegal activities, and so it ends up resulting in a lot of kids being forced to get
Yeah.
fake IDs and committing more like criminal activities just to alcohol. And so it's one of those things where like if they just became legal, it'd be so much easier for them to get. And so I feel like it also made it so people want it less because it's the fact that it's like it's the fact that you're not supposed to have it is what makes it like so many people want it more. Is that type of thing.
Yeah, no, I think
So what I'm hearing is like, by not discouraging it, it'd be like because think about it this way: if we have a situation where like a government as a whole or like some sort of thing in power has this idea that people around 18 shouldn't be drinking as much, or like there should be less underage drinking, that lowering that legal drinking age would decrease the amount of usage.
I mean, that's just a
I think it
theory,
would.
but like
I think it
what were you saying?
would. I was just gonna say I think it could decrease the amount of. Well, certainly it would get rid of all the illegal use because it wouldn't be illegal anymore. I think. I mean, if you could. Well, right, because then you just run on people having good faith, right? And that's not necessarily a totally legitimate principle. I think it comes to drinking culture, right? I think this ties into what Michael said. I think if you treat alcohol as something, a vice or a taboo, and you stigmatize it, then you end up with a lot more people who are, getting stupid drunk, and stuff like that.
JR, what do you think about that?
Yeah, almost everything like you guys say are like already things I was about to say, so I'm like, damn. But yeah, like I just kind of agree. Like, why would you said something that what was I gonna say? I just lost all my thoughts. Yeah, like it's just kind of like up to the human mind, because like the more you advertise it to be like some sort of bad thing, the more people would want it. But if you like kind of just like make it generalized, like everyone can do it, then I don't know, it'll make it like not that special. That's just what I think.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is just my little opinion on the topic. Don't put too much weight on it, but because I personally like am okay with the idea that the drinking age is 21. In fact, like I'm not a whole fan of like alcohol in the first place. I've seen it do bad things, like to people I know, like relationship wise and family wise, like all these sort of things that can really like addictive wise. In the case that that does happen, there are responsible drinkers, but at the same time, there are more addictive ones. And while I do think like it should be more open ended, like to choice, there should still be measures put in place to reduce it and discourage it in a reasonable manner. Does that make any sense? What do you guys think about that?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think you got to prevent, and then again, having it be 21 isn't necessarily right, because it does make it.
Yeah,
harder.
I was saying like it has nothing to do with like directly at it being 21.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't really care as long as it's up there. Like it should be at least 18.
I just think that like if you're able to be tried as an adult in the court of law, you should be able to have all the rights of an adult. So like if you're 18, you're going to get tried as an adult, but like you can't drink, you can't buy tobacco products in Arizona either actually till 21. And so I just find that like kind of like a double standard that you can get tried as an adult, but you can't do a lot of things that an adult can, you know?
So you're really just looking for like make it more across the board. So another thing to consider, like what if because people don't just grow up in a day from when they're almost 21 to after 21. So like what if because from what I'm seeing, like it starts like kind of at 18, you get a lot more rights, and then it goes even further like at about 21. Because like you do grow in between those stages, like although things could be moved around in terms of like what age happens when in terms of rights. Like where do you think it, like looking at it more like a spectrum perhaps?
I think 19
where do you think it should go?
I think 19 is a good number.
Well, I mean, it varies
Michael?
from person to person as everyone matures at different rates. And so it really is just a generalization the government is going off of for when you're mature enough to handle it.
I mean, your brain stops developing at 25, right? So then we should just set it at 25 for everything, every vice.
Yeah, but that's too long to wait.
That kind of goes against what you were saying a little bit before. Like, oh, by having it at 18, we'll have less people. Because, like, having it so high at 21, people are going to be drinking beforehand illegally. Putting it all the way at 25.
People will definitely be drinking illegally even more. Nobody's going to wait that long. Because once your life starts to, I think another big part of it is once you're out of high school, that's when your life really starts to like be on your own. Your life starts getting a lot tougher, and so like I feel like that alcohol is just really nice to have, if that makes sense. It's not really. It's like kind of a joke, but it's for real though. Like after high school, life just becomes a lot more real, and you're into your own life. And like if you're living on your own and you're like 20 years old, bro, I think you should be allowed to buy a fucking beer.
That should be the decider, is that if you're living on your own.
Facts. Yeah, if you're still living off your parents' money, no, you're not allowed to buy alcohol.
So do you think there might be like some other ideas in terms of like what might qualify someone, or like perhaps new ways to look at the problem as a whole when it comes to underage drinking perhaps, or like how should alcohol really be placed in terms of society in a whole perhaps?
Ban it all.
Facts. Prohibition. That ended up really good before, so we should try that.
Oh yeah,
again.
Definitely.
And
Definitely, that went very well.
That was basically just gasoline.
Paint stripper, dude. It's paint stripper.
Basically, honestly, I'd be down to huff some paint. Have you guys heard that though? People will huff. What is it? It's like the gas they put in like whipped cream cans. It's like I forgot. I don't think it's CO2. It's like some other. It's like some other
Oh,
chemical.
nitrous or whatever.
Yeah, the
Nitrous or
nitrous.
whatever.
That's what they'll huff. It's called whippets. Fucking
Could be.
Really?
destroys your brain.
That just seems like it rots you. Like, what does it do?
Yep.
It's
I
whipped
have.
Destroys your
cream.
brain.
I've never tried
It's
it
whipped
personally, so I'm
cream.
not a retard. But I have one of my friends. Her name's Lola. She's done all types of shit, and fucking she's telling me about it. And she said it's just like a really, really intense, like 20-second high.
That makes that. I don't know, dude. I don't think I. That sounds kind
Nah,
of gross.
I'd never do it either. It sounds fucking terrible. But yeah, it does. It
That's why. That's
legitimately
why we need to
kills
make.
brain cells.
That's why we need to get rid of a minimum drinking age, so that anyone who would have to do whippets instead just can drink a beer.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Well, that kind
Um,
of leads into a different discussion that I think goes out of the scope of what we have here. You guys can like decide whether or not, but like, do you think there is something that could be done in society to like relieve that sort of reliance people seem to have on like getting high in
no.
general?
I think people have been getting drunk since we discovered alcohol. I think
this
that
is
if there was
true.
a solution, I think if there was a solution, we would have found it a long time
It's
ago.
just part of the human condition, bro. Life is just shitty. It's just easier when you're not thinking about it.
Invest more in mental health programs. To
Like maybe not like just eliminate it in general, but just like help it.
yeah, invest more in steady mental health programs so people can get to a therapist instead of getting high.
I feel like I like I'd say your guys' ideas are good, like that mental health stuff. But in order for that to truly work, like we'd have to basically just rebuild society based around that. Because honestly, with the way society is right now, I feel like it's becoming more accepting very slowly. But like nobody
Mhm.
wants to go to external help for their problems. 'Cause it's seen as being weak. No one wants to like, oh, I should go to a therapist for this, or like, oh, I need external help for this.
Jared, anywhere you think this conversation could go?
No, you guys are like having
All
your
over
own
the
thing.
place.
Like, yeah, I'm like, I can't
Alright.
like join this. This is like too complicated.
We finished, by the way.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
pulled up mine. All right. We're gonna discuss. I scrolled past it. I was like, where is it?
I thought you were doing dramatic pause.
Yeah, no, I scrolled past it. What our topic is the rise in costs of college. All of its aspects: tuition, housing, books. So how do you guys feel about that?
Alright, so I
What do we
actually have
think?
a conspiracy theory on this. Okay, so
Oh, I've got some theories as well.
my conspiracy theory is it's just the government is working with colleges. Okay, so you know how like there is no like real draft anymore. Okay, they're not forcing people into the military anymore. Not since Vietnam. They probably won't ever again because we probably won't even have any more land wars. But they still need a military, right? And so they're working with the colleges to increase college price just to get people to go into the military in order to pay for college. Because on God, bro, when
Oh.
those military dudes come in and give the presentation, it's like 5 minutes on what the military is actually like, and then like 30 more minutes just talking about how expensive college is.
You actually got a point there.
That is my theory, and I will stick by it till I die. I swear.
And so what I have like when it comes to this, there is definitely something going on behind just like how expensive it is to provide you this education, because there's so much money going to those people who own the schools themselves. People forget about, oh yeah, people own this, and as such are making a profit out of these. These aren't public schools. These are for-profit colleges, and there's someone at the top making a whole bunch of money. And that's for every single one of those like hundreds of colleges throughout the United States. And it seems like no matter where you look, they're all high. They're all high.
It's like another thing
because I think they're working together. They're definitely like working together. Like, oh, if I raise my price, you can raise your price as well. And because really, people are going to just go to whatever college they so choose. Typically, it's going to be close to them or like somewhat close, like in the state around, or unless it's a very specific school like Harvard, Stanford, like ones where they're have very specific things, which are a whole nother situation that are totally ripping off students in a whole nother way. Basically what I was talking about before, but like 3 times worse, just for the idea of prestige. And, oh, I went to Harvard.
Yeah, another
Look
thing
at me.
that's like less conspiracy theory that I think for another reason why prices have gone up so much is just because like the job market has changed so much. Like back in the day, like you just got like, oh, you go work on the railroad, hammer nails all day. But like all those
Mhm.
meaningless like no brain jobs have really gone. There aren't too many of them left in
Yeah,
America. A lot
yeah,
of
because
jobs now require you to
basically
be
everyone,
smarter. They require a college degree.
yeah,
So the demand has gone up so much, and colleges know that. And because they know that,
hmm
they know they can charge ridiculous prices and people will still pay them. Because if you want to get a
because people
decent
think,
job, you
oh,
need
if
a
you need
college
it,
degree or at
if you
least
need a
some form of
degree,
secondary education, even if it's just a trade school.
hmm hmm
I I agree, especially with what Joseph said. One of the things like I got into some other schools, right? Because and one of the things I noticed though is that I applied to like too many schools, right? Like too many. Like I applied to like 13, right?
Oh, geez.
And I got into like the majority of them, but like the
hmm
big issue was that like a lot of them wanted to charge more than they're worth compared to the fact that ASU is like so much cheaper. Like not just because it's public, but because it's in state and because it offers more scholarships.
hmm
I think one of the things that I think that Joseph is right when he says it comes back to a lot of colleges being businesses first and foremost, and I think especially when it comes to private colleges, like they do a lot of great research. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying get rid of them, right? I'm just saying
hmm
that like I don't think they're honest about their priorities all the time. And I don't think it's not necessarily, they're allowed to charge what they want. I just think that, again, I think that Joseph hit the nail on the head. I would have basically just said the same thing when it comes to a lot of their charging for their branding. I got a friend who goes to UPenn,
Hmm.
and he's like, I really like it, but he's like, some of the stuff we do, I know people who go to, like Penn State or Pittsburgh, like get the exact same opportunity. He's like
hmm
the only advantage he has going to an Ivy is the name brand thing.
Yep.
Hmm. I have a friend who goes to he's going to UC Berkeley right now in like Northern
Yeah.
California, and it's basically the same thing. The only reason he's going there really is just the name recognition.
I got
Yep.
into American because I was thinking about like diplomatic work, right?
Hmm.
And one of the things American was like, we'll cut your scholarship. We'll cut your tuition. We'll give you a good scholarship. They still wanted me to pay like 35 grand a year, 35
Jesus.
grand a year. And it's
Well, that's
like,
the thing.
I'm not graduating college with over like grad school. Maybe I can understand, but undergrad, I'm not graduating undergrad with 100 grand in debt, like over 100 grand in debt. That is ridiculous. But
That's
anyway,
insane.
If I may, well, that's the thing. Scholarships, especially like school provided scholarships, are proof that they can charge us less.
hmm
Hmm.
It is just like, oh yeah, we can get. Oh yeah, those that we decide on. Yeah, you can get a full ride. I don't even need to get money off of you because I know you're going to draw more people eventually. More people I can grab money from, because the fact that they're able to let people in for free because they can charge so much of the people coming in after and at the same time, especially at the same time, because like every year they're giving people full rides. That means like they're still making a massive profit while letting some people in for free, and others that happen to be less fortunate, or I'm gonna say less fortunate, or just like happen to have worse priorities in high school just because of like some simple mistakes you may have made in freshman year, making it so you don't have a 4.0 can lead you to essentially be screwed over in terms of college price.
Yep. I agree a ton with that. I had a bad GPA, not a bad GPA. I had a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if it wasn't like I think that you can tell which colleges like read my essay and which ones didn't. And I don't want to say that that's because I got into those ones and I got rejected from the other ones, but like I got like I contacted a few of them, right, for like post like trying to work out scholarships and stuff,
Yeah.
because and it was like, And some of them were like, yeah, like I have a chronic illness. That's the main reason why my GPA was kind of crappy, because I missed 60 days a year on average. Like I've been pretty good this semester. Like in high school, it was terrible. I have migraines, dude. It's miserable sometimes. And I just feel like I get that, like, they employ a lot of people. I get that they have massive amounts of overhead. I get that land is expensive, especially if you're in like DC, and I get that they're like incredibly expensive institutions.
But they have more students.
Exactly. And like one of the things that blows my mind is that if you look at, like, if you Google Harvard right now, I'm pretty sure they don't even have 7,000 students. And and I like it's not, and now granted they have like 14,000 like grad students, which is a lot, and I bet that's where they expand most of their stuff. But the thing that kind of kills me is like, but you're not expanding undergrad. Like you got all this money. They have billion. Yeah, they have $42 billion. They are
Jesus.
one of the wealthiest. They have more money than most countries. They have a crazy amount of money that they're just sitting on. And I know that they have, again, a ton of overhead, blah blah blah. But like, why aren't you expanding if you're Harvard? Why aren't you trying to pump more money into education? It's kind of nuts to me.
Just sit on their money.
Yeah, and it's
because those people higher up are they have that money, and they could use that money to fly a jet. Like, pay for their mansion. That's just how it works.
Yeah, another great example of like mixed up priorities is how like during this entire pandemic, every college is trying their best to keep students on campus, just so they can charge more for like dorms. And so like after like, a certain point, they'd be like, "Oh, you can't leave now." And you're like, "Oh, the contract is like."
No. That's the most hilarious thing though, because when I was first like kind of getting into ASU, they almost require you to be on campus freshman year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. They watch your money.
I had to do a whole thing to like just say, "Hey, can I not be on campus?" I had to like, because they don't even have an online form or anything. You have to directly email. It's not even an form. You have to send in an email, quote unquote, form answering a few questions that you have to write. Like it's bizarre. I'm lucky that I got that sorted out, because like there was no, like, if you go into like all these things that it shows you, like, okay, go to here, there is no option to say, hey, I don't want to be on campus. It's just not an option.
Yeah,
because they want to yeet that money off of you.
And it would be, I don't know, like, I know like it's expensive in Tempe, and it's expensive wherever you go, right? If you go to college in New York or DC or Seattle, I'm sure it's expensive too. But like, why don't you focus more on like undercutting costs for your students? Like I don't know. I don't know. Like it just seems like sometimes the priorities of colleges are a little messed up.
Oh, some other silly things, because like when I was even going to pay tuition, they tacked on a few of like these other little numbers, and it said like it had something to do with like student government or whatever, deciding like, oh, for all these little different quote unquote services. They typically had to do stuff with like the campus themselves, and I think it's just hilarious. Like, oh yes, these are things that are going to be that it's going to be paid by the students directly. It's just wild. Anyway, I think we're going low on time.
Yeah, we are.
10 to 15, so we could end about here. I'm not later, but
it's whatever you guys want to do.
I'm fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than, man.
Okay.
Well, I actually do have one thing to say. Sorry.
Go for it.
I feel like way too often the government forgets that they don't need to enforce prices. They need to encourage prices. Like in the situation of colleges, encourage them to have lower prices.
Well, I thought that goes back to the thing I was talking about with the military. They don't want
Exactly.
to. They want more. They want college to be more expensive. 'Cause it means they have more lackeys to throw into the Middle East.
There's too much working together at these larger entities that's basically designed to screw over the people as a whole. When the thing is, in reality, the best thing for them would be to break that down, because then you'd have it's a whole thing, just like general capitalist theory. Like it's really basic
You
stuff.
have
Just
more educated workers.
more educated workers leads to like just better productivity and better quality of life. These high-end rich people could eventually, given enough time and like increased productivity through like increased technology and systems and all these different things, it could end up like what we consider to be for the rich to be normal
Hmm.
for everyone.
I feel like we were talking about before though. Like you mentioned that colleges basically are just like all
Mhm.
rising their prices together. They honestly, you could make an argument for that that could be considered price fixing, which is illegal. But I feel like
Mhm.
the government just purposely ignores it.
Not only that, but usually they make it very, very covered up if they do anything of the sort, because that is technically an oligarchy, and in turn, oh, actually, on the topic of that, you know how colleges have limited admission?
Hmm.
So technically, with that all taken into account, if they are working together, which I do think they are, if evidence came out, they could be considered a cartel.
Oligarchies are actually legal though, which
I
is
think we
fucking
could.
funny.
I think we could leave it off at that because that's just a fun idea.
Hmm. Oh, I have a side note though. This is nothing to do with them. This is like outside the argument entirely. But fun fact: in Arizona, right now, there's a. So I was talking with my friend's dad because we were cleaning pools together because it was my job over the summer, and he's talking about he wanted to open a dispensary in Arizona because it's just like really good money, just having like a weed dispensary. But like in order to get one, it costs an insane amount, like an absurd
Hmm.
amount to get a license, and you still have to open your own store and stuff. Because the only way you get a
Hmm.
license basically is like through like a few companies. And right now, actually, the two companies there in Arizona are lobbying. I don't know what it'd be. Lobbying the legislators here in Arizona to make it actually
Oh, of course
illegal
they are.
to not go through them in order to open your dispensary, and it actually just makes it a
Of
full
course they
oligarchy.
are.
And they
What
probably
else
will
is
because
new?
they're rich.
That's happened to way too many different businesses. I think it's even happened with glasses,
Hmm.
cable, like all wherever there's money, there's there's always market control, and our laws currently are not suited for all of it. And these powerful businesses have way too much money to let the law become anything else. Because the government ultimately is getting tax money off of them.
Hmm.
And past that, bribes do happen.
Yeah. All right. So probably start
It's
activity
tough.
two.
All right, we'll do. So then what we got to do? We have to rate them, and
That's
then
what
we
it looks
have
like.
to. Yes, we rate them to 1 to 10, where 1 is bad leader and 10 is perfect leader.
What, each other?
Yes, and then we create an average for each. So number 1, I will give it a. I'll say an 8.
Am I number one?
Yes.
Yeah, you're number 1.
Am I allowed
So
to rate myself?
do you have a document? You're not allowed
Yeah,
to rate yourself.
I have a doc. It's all good.
Yeah,
We
you're
need
not
we
allowed
need a
to rate
doc.
yourselves though.
Yeah.
SMH.
So I give 8, and then
Let's see. I'm trying to remember the discussion.
I'll give it a 9.
Honestly, I'm not the most perceptive to, because I know what the whole thing was about, but at the same time, I couldn't really tell the difference.
Yeah. We're supposed to do this a little bit later. I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
Mine was laissez-faire. So I just like
I
sat
thought
there
so.
and didn't do anything. So I was like,
I didn't really do mine very much. I'm not gonna lie. I was supposed to be.
I thought so.
What was mine?
Yeah,
you authoritarian
Yeah,
or whatever?
I was authoritarian.
yeah, you really weren't.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
do
right
it. Bro, how
Dude,
am I
you really
supposed to be
weren't, which is why I
authoritarian in discussion. And I
Tell
don't
people
I
not
don't
only
want to just be a
but
dick.
especially exactly, you don't want to be rude.
I hate that.
All right.
That happened the other time
8,
too. When like my secret
I'm gonna
role in the group was supposed to be to distract everyone and just be annoying.
What?
Yeah. And wait, so 8, 9, and then Joseph, what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
8. 7 plus 9 plus 8 divided by 3. I think that's just 24.
8.33.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't do math. Wait, 7 plus 9 plus 8 divided by 3 is 18.
Oh, wait, no, that's 8.
Yeah,
27.
7, 8, 9? Yeah, that's 8.
18.
What? How would you get
Number
18
2?
out of 1 to 10? Oh, wait, what?
7 plus 9 plus 7 plus 9 plus 8 plus but it didn't do it with parentheses. Yeah, it's 8.
7 plus
It's
9
8.
plus 8 is 24. Divide that by 3, it's 8.
It's 8.
Yeah. It divided it by 3 and then added it to 7 plus 9.
Nice.
Number 2, I'll give that a 9.
10. I don't know.
10. Joseph?
10.
JR?
That was mine.
Yeah. I got the names mixed up for 1 second. It just took a second. 9, 10, 9, 10. That is 9.6, 9.7.
Nice. I did Democratic. It
Uh,
was kind of weird to do.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
love
not
it.
weird.
and then the last one, mine.
10.
Okay, that one was really good though. I think that was a 10.
Yeah, that's a 10.
We just like to be left
Wait, so
on.
what's the average of that? I don't-
Let us talk.
Okay. We need to list as many adjectives as possible in 3 to describe each leader's leadership style. So we'll say for authoritarian, we'll say 1. We'll say decisive. We'll say
He really wasn't though.
I think
No, we're supposed to go based on what I was supposed to be or what I did.
I think we have to do it what it was supposed to be.
Maybe. Oh no, but we're supposed to talk about like what we we actually did at 10.
Oh, okay.
So we weren't supposed to really let.
Yeah, but but it's whatever. It's okay.
This is fine.
Yeah, you really think she watches the videos of everyone talking? There's no way she'll know.
I think she skims through them.
I wouldn't say that.
There's no way. Each one's like an hour
She's
long. It's like 5.
Imagine if she skipped to this point.
She's here to,
We're good beans. We're good beans. We're good beans. We're good.
We
Good
really
beans.
try.
We're trying.
Sorry,
I don't want to be a dick to my group.
So we need to think of, how do we describe his leadership style? I'm going to say decisive at times.
Sure.
Demanding.
No.
Demanding.
Demanding. And then
Jerk.
Close mind, I guess.
Nah, yeah. And then
Inflexible.
Inflexible. Inflexible I like better than jerk. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Inflexible and then close-minded.
Oh, yeah,
And then
we have
we'll
to turn
do-
the commercial today, right? From Mom.
Yeah, he already turned it in.
I already did.
Oh, sweet. Wait, can we watch it? I want to see it.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll do you want to watch it at normal speed or the speed I sent it in at?
The
Because
speed you sent
I had to put it at 80% speed, so it would be like 3 minutes. It was like barely 3 minutes at putting it at 80% speed. Anyway, I'm gonna share my screen. Give me 1 second.
I'm so excited.
Refreshing the browser.
Yeah, like for mine, I didn't know what role I was doing, so I just kind of started one thing, but I didn't finish it. So
Okay, but at the same time, I do have to show you what happens when I. Okay, I have an idea. So we're gonna watch it at normal speed, and then I'm going to show you at the speed I sent it in at without changing the pitch.
It's simulation.
We get this done.
It's gold.
We
It's
check
gold.
that out. Can we just get all the activities done first, though?
Because it's like a team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
watch it
No,
after.
it's not like Among Us at all. It's like
So I'll say for number 2,
like doing
I'll say open-minded.
Mhm.
I'll
And then
say
you're
I'll
supposed
say
to like survive the longest, and whoever survives the longest
Okay.
gets like
Listen.
I got the thing pulled up.
this astronaut or something.
Okay, you guys ready to watch?
Is he an astronaut?
I think we're gonna finish the activities first, then we'll watch
Can you see the
after.
fucking ads?
Okay, yeah.
let's crush the activities and then let's get it done.
Yeah.
So then for number 3,
What's the name of the video you sent me with?
Oh wait, there's multiple activities.
I never learned why.
yeah. I got them.
Oh,
all.
dear.
I copy pasted them. I think we can crunch it. If we go pretty fast, I think we can crunch it.
It's like 90 still.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream just to have my internet chill. Okay, so and then yours, Aiden. Oh wait, we already did yours. Never mind. I'm going crazy. Okay, so activity number 2.
We said open-minded, diplomatic, polite, observant, empathetic.
Yeah.
No, we have to put adjectives to the first.
Oh yeah,
And,
yours.
and then laissez-faire. I don't know.
Chill.
Laid back.
Chill.
undecisive.
Indecisive.
Followed the conversation.
I'll say lucid
What if I don't make it?
/ fluid.
Flexible.
I don't understand it.
The opposite of inflexible.
Yeah, put antonyms for all the one you put for the other for mine.
Creativity.
A business major is leading a team. So this is activity 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have the book open by you, but we have the 4 things that we have to do. She talked about them in the video.
Saw?
It's
Like from the movie Saw?
we have to do the there's the 4 leadership styles. So there's telling, selling, participating, and delegating.
Okay.
Activity 2. A business major is leading a team of research scientists working on new ways to use plastic. Although who's that stuff in the background? Who's kind of the noise?
Oh,
I
sorry.
think it's Jax.
It's not me.
A business major is leading a team of research scientists working on new ways to use plastic. Although the team discusses the merits of each ideal and project, she retains the final decision-making authority.
Would that be delegating?
It's either, I think, I have to.
What were the options again?
They're in the book. Telling, selling, participating, and delegating.
I'd say it's either telling or delegating, but I think it's delegating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's delegating.
This is delegating because she. A new supervisor has just been put in charge of the production line. He immediately starts by telling the crew what changes need to be made. When some suggestions are made, he tells them he does not have time to consider them. I think this is telling.
To initiate like the trade part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A construction crew has worked together for the last 4 years with very little changeover in personnel. They always vote whenever a decision has to be made on how to proceed with the project.
Participating.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be delegating.
I don't know. Delegating is more like
Participating has a core leader, though. that focuses on developing relationships. There's no core leader in this.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
It's
like
entirely self-directed.
with very little changeover, they
I mean, I
change
can
over
tell you the
into
line in the book says a leader using this style allows the group to be self-directed.
And they are.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense.
Um, uh, the owner of a small electronics store starts every day by telling the 3 employees what has to be done and how to do it.
That'd just be telling again, wouldn't it?
I think it's selling, actually.
What is selling?
It's so it
Bright.
it's like that, but the leader explains and clarifies stuff instead of giving like explicitly. Well, I don't know. It might be telling.
I think it's just telling again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you can stop recording, by the way.
Oh yeah.